Thank your tears.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna go with like the Halo theme. And then you went somewhere. Else. Yeah, I heard the. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, I can vibe to this. But then you just went off somewhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we in here, episode 2 of the Waistmans podcast. I didn't think we'd make it. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think we'd get here. It's week 2. We pumping out the content. We in this. So I wanna thank all the viewers, all like 4 viewers, which is probably just all of us in this podcast right now.
Yeah, almost.
Shit, I'll get that shit up on my phone. Hold on.
everyone make a Twitch account. Get the views in. Get that revenue.
Important information: your view doesn't count if you're if it's muted. So you know.
No, Rip.
I'm going to leave it on 1% volume. That's the tech. It's actually the tech.
Godlike. So yeah, on a roll. Shout out to everyone's that's viewing the thing. We appreciate it. You know, we enjoy pumping out the content for you guys during these hard times, these times of isolation.
The road.
The Rona indeed. So make sure you're all social distancing, isolating the thing, drinking plenty indoors.
You're saying social distancing. I think our avatars are a bit too close together.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Can I just, on record, just fuck Discord for immediately changing the layout after I sorted out last week's podcast? Like,
your job was too easy.
It just knew.
Yeah, your job was obviously too easy. But yeah, for this episode, I thought I'd pay homage to the real ones, the thankless ones, the heroes without the capes. I want to shout out the TOs for this week. So with me are said TOs. First up, I got SMBF Badger, usually the guy behind the scenes, providing the stream, running the stream. But I told him get his ass in there. He's a TO. He's ran tournaments for us in Bristol. Get your ass in there. Provide some input. So we got Badger there. We got Burny. Burnyhands.
That's me.
South Wales Godfather. Yeah, running things over there. We have him on deck as well. And of course, we have the boy, you know him as Rezero,
oh my god,
whatever the hell. I know him as T. So I got T on the podcast.
Everyone calls me T. It's cool.
Everyone calls them T. So I want to shout out to all you for joining me.
Thank you.
So what I try and do with all the podcast episodes at the start, I want to know the origin story. You know, we're all here right now in this podcast. I just want to know how the hell we all got here. So I'll start off with Badger. Let me know about the kind of the origin story, how you came into the scene, into the FGC. Because obviously I've known you for, I don't know, years. It must be years now.
It's been a while, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. So talk us through how you got into it.
I mean, I started coming at like when Ultra just came out, I think. Ultra Street Fighter 4. And like before then, I was basically just playing fucking anime games in my room. Just
Nice.
I showed up at the scene, and basically there was one anime set up in the corner. I was like, "Guess I'm gonna play Street Fighter then."
Yeah, that's classic. That is classic.
Yeah, anime just like in their own corner. Was it? I'm guessing it was Central Fiction.
No. I can't even remember. No, I came way earlier than that. It was like Persona 4 Arena, like Ultimate.
That's early. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. Got it. All right. So, and did you? I'm trying to think. Who was kind of? I was wondering like who was running it at the time.
Would have been Tom.
Would have been Tom.
Yeah, would have been Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy P running stuff. And so before then, what was you playing when you was just kind of like in your room?
I was playing. I learned to play on like anime games, so I was playing like Persona 4, and I was playing Blaze Blue, whatever the current Blaze Blue of the time was.
Right.
The game
now you said that a lot more makes sense. Like how you play things, it makes a lot more sense.
I mean, I can't play those games, man. Especially Blaze Blue is just like that shit's just ravioli to me. Like it's like
well, it's a lot easier to speed down than it is to speed up.
No, that's fair. All right, sweet. So next I want to go to Burny. Burny, he's we've been speaking with each other, known each other for a little bit. So like, let us know about your origin story, how you came to be in the FGC.
How far back do you want to go?
Take it all the way back. I'm trying to go all the way back. Like,
Bring it back.
Oh shit! Like I mean, I used to play Street Fighter 2 on my SNES, right? No, like I did.
How old are you, man?
I did, but the first game to really get me a taste for like fighting games is actually Soul Calibur 4. That game was absolute butt cheeks online though. Like it was bad. But then that led me on to get in Street Fighter 4. And then that I started playing when I had my computer repaired. I started playing like a lot of old games on GGPO. Like before Fightcade was there was just GGPO and it was a client. It was all that weird shit. And that completely spoiled everything for me because I expected all fighting games to be good online. But
right. So was that the Soul Calibur with was that the one with Darth Vader?
Yeah. That was Soul Calibur 4.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't that great at it. Like, I never really learned how to play any fighting games properly until Street Fighter 5, I think. Because like I used to play them, and I used to like play about, just like kind of do special moves that I didn't really get how they worked in a sense.
Yeah.
But 5, I decided to like knuckle down, learn a lot of concepts and stuff like that, and then that just led me into going to locals. Actually, funny story. I can tell you about how I found out about my locals.
Let's know.
So you all are aware of our good mutual friend John, aka Dawn Yeager, aka Greek Kicks,
aka less than John.
Yeah, less than John, aka I almost made it out of top 64. I was made in the top 64. I mean, we can go on for days. But
never
it's
forget.
Cool
Never
man.
forget.
It's so cool.
But good old Jono, he was actually studying uni with a housemate of mine, and they were in a project together. And he came over, and they were just chatting about before they settled down. I can't remember how. But I just walked downstairs and I was thinking I was getting a fucking drink or something like that, and my housemate mentioned I played like Street Fighter, and then John's like, "Oh, you play Street Fighter?" I was like, "Oh yeah, do you?" And he goes, "Yeah," and then and I was like, "Oh, cool, be right back." And I went upstairs and I just took both my arcade sticks down and I was like, "Do you want to play?"
Love it.
But
I love that.
We played a couple of games. By that I mean I kind of whipped the shit out of him, but he was never that good at that game, But he told me about like TSG. We've all had the pleasure of being at.
Yeah, man.
And rocked up there. Somehow won the first like event I went to, and then that was it. From there, I was in the scene.
You know what's surprising? It's I think it was similar to Bebop last week, where he as well hasn't really been in it that long, like proper in amongst the FGC for that long. And I think it's similar to you, because when I assume with you, I would have thought like you'd be playing for play for ages. You've been at it for like a long time. But really, it was only like, if you're saying like you only started playing properly with Street Fighter 5, that means it's like, I don't know, only like 3-4 years or something.
Yeah,
like,
3-4 years.
Well, the problem is that there wasn't, like, as far as I knew when I was trying to get into fighting games initially, there wasn't any scenes. So like, I got really into Soul Calibur 5, but I didn't have anyone to play that with, which is fortunate because that game actually played decently online. But then I bought KOF 13. I had no one to play that with. Instead, I just tore the skin off my thumbs doing Kim's like combo trials.
That game did not play well online though.
No. And plus, it's KOF. You're just gonna get, basically you're gonna get like Mexicans, right? Which is fine on GGPO. I used to play quite a couple of people on Garo a lot, and that's a different story. But like, it's just because there was no scene as far as I could tell, and that's why I kind of decided to try and.
To be fair, that I've bought KOF 13. Godlike might be one of the greatest fighting games that I don't play.
Yeah, definitely for
because
sure.
that shit. But I bought it only. I only bought it on PC just for the trials, just to do the try and do the trials. Trials are ridiculous in that game.
There's a lot of gameplay potential there. Just that
Oh,
alone.
that game is sick, but it's just so hard.
What was your reaction when you had like one of those trials that had a page full and you started doing it and then it started scrolling?
Oh, and then you got to scroll, so you don't even know.
It starts fucking scrolling. You're like, oh no.
You think you've done it, then it's like page 2. I'm like, because I always the only trials that I've completed is Terry's. That's the only trials I've actually done. I've tried doing EXQs so many times, but I think I get stuck in like trial 7 or 8, where it's just too much, man. It's just too much. Every now and again, pretty rarely, I might like stream it, just me trying to do the trials and just getting nowhere. But like, yeah, that game's super rough.
I think I tried to do the Ash trials once, and I gave myself like hand cramp. Like, it's pretty rough.
The KOF trials is kind of like you're, playing in a band, but the conductor is fucking J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. So whenever you fuck up, it just beats you bloody.
Yeah, no, it's that game's savage. That game's sick, but the execution, like that shit is rough. Hopefully they make like, well, I swear like the latest KOF is in the works, right?
Yeah, it's in the works. But
15.
from what I've heard,
yeah, it's in the works.
So far, we have a logo, and that's it.
That's in the works for me,
bro.
That's technically in the works for me. I mean, and let's go on to T. Talk to me, man, because I'm not sure where it starts. I know obviously the point where you came to Waistman weeklies, but I don't really know much before that. So just give us a little bit.
Yeah, so it kind of started off on Xbox, really. I think I had Super Street Fighter 4. That's very much where I started. Kind of dabbled in like anime, so like with Isaac, played a bit of Persona. I was actually watching a stream. Can't remember what stream it was, but I think I mentioned like in Bristol there weren't any like scenes or like places to go like tournament wise and like kind of hang out and play some fighting games. So I kind of found out about weeklies through there. And then my first one would have been 108. So what are we on now? Plus 300 at least more. So so it's quite some time ago. So this was back in, I'd say about 2014. So probably be coming up to about 6 years now. August. But yeah, my first one was 108. This is when weeklies was actually on Tuesdays, if people didn't know about that.
That's a throwback.
That is definitely going back. But
that is back. Yeah, damn. I remember like I literally go from college.
Yeah,
finish college, and then I just hang around in town for a little bit, and then just straight to Waistmans. That's a throwback.
Oh god, yeah. I forgot about burritos as well. That's a good one. But this is like, I think it started at like 6 p.m. to like 11 p.m. So yeah, like what you did, Shaq, I do the same. So finish college, kind of hang around, kind of help set up, and that's kind of my first like introduction in becoming like a tier, just because at the time it was Tom. He was managing all the equipment and stuff like that. But I think my first game or first day there, sat down with Tom, played a bit of Union, got absolutely washed. Absolutely washed. He was playing Linny. I remember quite vaguely, and then kind of spoke to like Johnny and I think Luke might have been there. Luke Bradshaw.
Luke. He's been around longer than
most of us. So I spoke to like Luke and kind of like Johnny, kind of familiarized myself with it, and then a couple of weeks later, here I am, still going to it, and I just bought my first stick as well, so that was cool.
You get, I mean, that's funny because like it's what was your first stick?
I think it was like a Hori, some sort of Hori. It was one of the one of Tom's old ones, so I think I bought it for about £60 off him, and then
Is it because the one that I had is like is it the Rap 4? I think I got, so it might have been like.
Yeah, it was like an earlier one. It's like a really early one. So I was for a I think it was for PS3 actually, and then I later got back into a bit of Street Fighter 4 and bought the tournament edition, which is a solid stick. I wish I didn't get rid of it, and kind of regret it to this day. But it's what it is, But it's fine. It's cool.
But I know you're like myself. I'm a bit. I used to be like a bit of a stick hoarder. I get a stick, You then get a
Yeah.
second one, and then trade
Yeah.
one in, and then get like another one that you saw on eBay. How many sticks do you have like currently?
Well, currently I have I only have two.
Only the two.
Just trying to look at
Yeah,
them now.
just two.
So yeah, it's the what's the obsidian and the the crystal. So pretty high end sticks, but
I mean,
I think
obsidian. Oof, that's the
that was a
that's the epitome. That's the epitome of
yeah
stick right now. That's the best stick out right now.
yeah. It literally cost me about like 250 quid, including like
Yeah.
shipping. So it's a pretty hefty stick, but
I mean, it's worth it though. I mean, for me, it was especially when I like started getting a bit more money, like with my job. I was like, I just thought like, let me buy this stick, let me buy that stick. You gotta splash out. You gotta splash out. Even if you go 0-2, you're like, look, my stick's nice though.
Look at my stick, bro. Look at
the LEDs. Look at the LEDs though. Look at these LEDs.
Yeah, what are you wrong with? But yeah, over the years, I think I've had about, God, I'd probably say about 6 sticks, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I've kind of stopped getting them just because I think it's about time that I've saved my money.
Man's growing up. He's growing up.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I respect.
Grown up life, man.
I'm looking at the space on my shelf which I've dedicated to sticks, and I bought like a Neo Geo gold stick or something like that, and I can't remember why. It's like it was part of the little console they had. Like they had a handheld console. Like SNK, man, they get up my ass with what they fucking do, right? They released a handheld console. It's like the Neo Geo Gold X, right? So you could play like emulated arcade games on there, and it's the fucking aspect ratio is 16:9, right? Which is stupid because all the games are stretched now, right? But they also released the fucking arcade stick you can buy for it, and I thought this is cool because it has the layout. Because the Neo Geo layout's weird because you have like one button on the bottom and then you have like 3 on the top, but they're not spaced like.
Oh, it's that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like curved, isn't it? The buttons are like curved. Like,
So I bought one of those. And I'm thinking, hell, I'm gonna fucking play some Metal Slug with this, and the buttons feel terrible. They're just really tall, right? And they never just stop going down. So you feel like you're pressing them forever. The stick is the worst thing. It's just wobbly and all that. And I was like, wow. And also it's like really plasticky. The entire thing feels really cheap. And I'm like, wow, I wasted my fucking money. So it just sits there taunting me to the end of days now. So I'm never buying any other stick if I don't need them now. That's my experience.
Yeah, no, I respect that. But then when it comes to Badger, am I right saying you're like a filthy pad player?
I am a filthy pad player, yeah. But I've got a custom like pad faceplate now, so I've got a nice pad.
Wait, didn't you have a hitbox as well?
I bought a hitbox once. Yeah, I tried to play it for like a couple weeks, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. On a completely unrelated note, if anyone wants to buy a hitbox, please hit me up on
Twitter. Don't buy a cheap box. Do not buy a cheap box. But I heard if you are gonna buy a cheap box, it isn't like what's his name again? Is it Bear? Bear makes like some pretty nice stuff.
You mean the cool Bear, aka Big Nige. Yeah, Blunderbuss Designs.
Yeah, Blunderbuss, that's one. Yeah,
have you seen the mini boxes he's doing now? The smaller ones?
No, I've not actually.
They look clean, man. They look real clean.
Yeah.
You can't get any plexi on them, which I don't give a fuck about. You want that shit naked, especially if it's a hitbox, because even Samuels feel really good against like the steel case. They feel really good. But yeah, he's got those. I can attest.
I mean, he makes good. Yeah, he makes good stuff. I've seen it, and like I've been on his website so many times and just think like, I really want to buy one of these, but I'm just broke as hell, and I don't really play enough to warrant like buying it. But like, he makes good stuff. I mean, hey, if you want to sponsor this podcast, I mean, damn, I wouldn't say no. But
you have to message him. You have to be like, yo, help us out, poverty.
Trust.
I'll put a link on the screen. It's alright.
Shout out Blunderbuss Design because he's got good stuff. He's got some good stuff. Yeah, and the fact that it's local as well. The fact that it's local is like the main selling point because you don't have to worry about shipping and all that crap. Yeah, paying extra for shipping.
Remember, people, use the voucher code S3LLOUT at checkout.
Hey, let him sponsor us. Let me see some things. Let me see some cash in my pockets. Then I'm all his. But yeah. So let me get on to the main thing, the main point of the podcast. TOs, tournament organizers, them ones, the real ones, the ones that you need but never thank. So from your guys' experience, how does it even happen? Like, how do you take up that mantle? Is it by just coincidence? Is it just by accident? Is it like, was it organized? Like how do you guys get the title? Like
I'm gonna wait for someone else to butt in
Yeah,
because
no.
I don't know what happened for everyone else, but you know, it kind of just fell in my lap almost.
I think it's different for everyone because at the time when Street Fighter 5 coming out, we were kind of moving on to obviously PS4s and all that. There was a brief moment when Simon Rickson was actually TOing after Tom.
Kaiju King.
So I think we kind of just took it by coincidence, really. I know he was quite busy on Sundays, which meant for it to be quite difficult for him to make it down to weekly setup and then go home after like a couple of hours, going home at like 11 o'clock. Because I know he was obviously trying to start a family or had family duties around that time. So myself, Max, and Jack, shout-outs to them.
Jack is D in the chat.
Yeah, Jack should be in here.
He should. I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to embarrass the rest of us.
That's cool.
But we're a bunch of plastic TOs out here. Man's there in the chat.
I'm speaking on behalf, anyways.
Yeah. Jack, Jack loves he's always doing that work in the background. Shout out to Jack.
Of course, I'm playing at work too good. But what was I saying? Yeah, so you just kind of took it from him, really, and that's kind of how it happened.
Okay. Mike, did he ever so did Simon just be like, look, like, would you be happy doing this? Or was it kind of just like I think it's I get the impression that it's one of those things where it's almost like an unspoken agreement where it's kind of like without saying a word, like the torch has been passed to you.
Yeah, in a way. I'd say I think we kind of worked out that we're kind of like generation 4 and moved on to 5 in terms of like TO at the moment. From Street Fighter 3 days, when God knows whoever was doing it. I don't even know the names, which is really
I can't remember. I can't actually remember. Like,
basically the founding fathers. Yeah.
Literally the
But it's like Street Fighter 3 days, Street Fighter 4. Kind of like a brief period when it was kind of slowing down towards the end of Street Fighter 4. I'm not sure if you guys kind of remember that kind of day, but it was where like we were only getting like, including ourselves, probably about 5 members turning up, which is pretty bleak. Kind of hard
the
to
dark round robin.
I'm sure every like tier has probably experienced it when it's just like a bit of a cut-off period or like hiatus for everyone.
I can't relate, bro. Always popping around here.
Damn, okay.
Sorry, bro.
It was just us.
You be sat at locals on my own. That's oh shit.
But yeah, no, that was kind of how we got into it. And since then, we just tried to improve it. So, one of my ideas that has still been run to this day is the £2 system, which some of you guys may know, where you pay £2 for the tournaments. So £1 will go towards us buying games and keeping games updated, season passes, which is we'll go into in a minute, and the other £1, which is split halfway, is given to the competitors. So first place will get a prize, second place, and then third place, so they'll get a prize. Just to kind of show appreciation to
the competition. The competition.
So
and I think it's a system that, without realizing, has made such a huge impact with with our community when it comes to these the latest DLC, the latest games, even the latest equipment. And to think how long. So how can you you probably couldn't guess this, or maybe you could. When was that implemented? This like just the tournament entry. Like, do you know what year roughly? Because I'm trying to think like how many years it must have been with that implementation, and just to think how much money was like raised for the community that's allowed us to buy all these games and DLCs and equipment. It's really it's definitely added up, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even I've seen, and even from Sodium's, like we've had quite a bit of money come through, which is you know, great, and all the donations that we received is, you know, outstanding. But I think I'm gonna say this is probably around Street Fighter 5, like the start of it. So I'm gonna say about 2016. That's when it kind of when we kind of started that system. Yeah, and since then we've just been able to kind of grow in a way where obviously now we're doing like live streams. You know, each week there's a PC that we can also use live streams.
Yeah, we bought a whole computer.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Yeah, that's what I mean. Just like that little contribution.
It goes to something. Yeah.
And I think it's the fact, because obviously we're not gonna. It's not to say that we've invented entry fees. Obviously,
I was going to say, like,
I mean, I was going to claim that.
Yeah, it's not like we've invented we invented tournament fees. Without that, EVO wouldn't be. Winners wouldn't get thousands. It's just the fact that
SMBF, local play. Like you created local play.
Yeah, literally. It's just about the just coming up, because before that we would just play, first place would just get first place and that was that. But it's just like that minute, almost like a donation.
It's just like a feeling of knowing that you've won something. I mean, yeah, it's not much, but at the same time, if there was more players, then you get more, and then kind of it's just like a win-win situation.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that it wasn't just like £1 for tournament entry and the winner just gets all of it. I think it's just the fact that it was that £2 where like half of it goes to the winnings, but then like you got the other pounds going to like the community and helping develop and stuff. And obviously we're quite fortunate in Bristol because the venue doesn't really ask for anything. They just ask that obviously buy food and drinks here.
Yeah.
But besides that, we're good. And also, and shout out to the Lanes Bristol as well. They've been good to us for
of course.
God knows how long. God knows how long. It's such a nice venue too.
Yeah, it's great.
You got good ciders and good venues, and can't go wrong.
Shout out to the pizza.
The pizza. I mean, they got to bring back that. Didn't they take away the 2-for-1 on pizzas?
Yeah. I remember that.
That was scuffed, man. Bring the thing back. Bring the thing back.
Pizzas, hold up, I didn't know about this.
Bring the thing. That's like old. That's like way back, like 2-for-1s. But that 2-for-1 stuff was optimal. Like you get like a large pizza for like I don't know, like £7, like that.
Damn.
Let me get that.
Yeah, bring it back, and we might be able to have the Wales weeklies in the lanes as well.
So when it came to you, Badger, I'm trying not to say your government, so I don't explain. I'm trying not to dox you right now. I'm trying not to dox you right now. But Badger, your TO title, I'd like to say that it came more recently. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, I was never a TO, but I was always bringing my PS4 up, and I bought games that I wasn't gonna play. I was just like, I'll just buy it and they'll play it at weeklies.
Yeah, I bought fucking Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. You think I'm gonna play that shit? No way, bro. I ain't playing.
That looks like your kind of game, man. I'm surprised. That looks like your kind of game.
Oh no, I was watching people play, and it's like touch of death combos everywhere, and I'm like, nah, let me of this. I gotta support the hustle though, man. The devs are putting in work, and there's all I love putting that game,
Wait, isn't the netcode completely just butchered? Like you can't even finish a game?
No, that's like a thing with crossplay, I think. And,
right.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. Like I looked it up, and the Switch version, there's like a glitch which crashes the game and stuff like that. And they have a fix ready, but Nintendo have like an update process, and they holding them up. But that's just indie dev things. They can't. Right. It's beyond their power.
Bodied.
I've just got like a can of beans I need to open real quick. Hold on.
Oh, can of beans. Yo, hold up.
Yo, why is
it suspicious sounding can of beans, bro?
Wait, when I said just come like bring it, pop open a can with the boys, I didn't mean a can of beans.
just gonna slurp them down. They're not even Heinz, man.
Oh god, why did I bring this man on?
I mean,
We're talking about games we don't play.
yeah. I didn't even finish my story, guys. Come on.
Yeah, which one of? Oh, do you remember when you guys? Sorry, this is a complete diversion, but I need to bring this up at some point. But you remember when we were at Versus Fighting, the last one, and I think it was Street Fighter 5, maybe semis, and you motherfuckers are sat there with a laptop playing fucking Saber.
It's Street Fighter 5 at the end of the day. I mean, it's hard to stay awake. Like
Oh,
we're all pretty drowsy during the Street Fighter 5 matches. You know, pretty resident sleeper matches.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just got whacked over my laptop, download the thing, and yeah.
Because my reaction went from I looked over, some of you playing footsies, right? And I'm like,
great game.
Yeah, I rate it. And I looked over and I saw Sailor Moon. I was like, what the fuck? Is this degeneracy I'm seeing right now?
I mean, there's been plenty of times like that. Like when we were coming back from my spot playing Street Fighter 3 in the airport. So
yeah, man, never stop playing. Never stop playing. Never stop playing. But Isaac, please continue with the
yes.
How you got the TO torch?
Basically, I was just chatting with Jack, and I was Jack SD in the chat again. Shout him out. And I just had the idea to like do a round robin to get more games played, and everyone seemed to be like cool with it. And I'd been helping. I help up set up occasionally. I travel in, so I can't always like help set up, but you know I do when I can. And then the round robin was a thing, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't just have Jack run that. That would be unfair. So I just kind of helped out, and now I guess I'm a TO, and that's how it's worked out in the end.
I mean, even before that as well, like you've always helped. So, yeah, appreciate it.
I hear that's how a lot of less liked games started in communities, because a lot of American communities apparently, like Guilty Gear, started off as just a round robin, one of the lads run down there, and then then you get stuff like Melty, which I don't even know what to describe that is, but it's like
I mean we've got a bathroom right next to all the setups, so we could run Melty in there.
You could do.
I'm pretty sure it's tradition at this point at VSF that Melty Blood gets played in the toilet.
Yeah, someone always plays some anime game in the toilet.
Was it Melty that some people played at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower? They plugged it in the fucking outlet.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, my point was, running like a round robin is a really good idea. If you bring the games and you bring the passion, people will want to join. I mean, I got people to play Windjammers. I got. Remember, I'm still the Neo Turf Masters champion, by the way. At
That's
Weeklies.
I'm undefeated. That actually hurts. That hurts.
So I just like to put that out there. If you build it, they will play.
Yeah, no, for sure, and that's it's kind of the mindset that you need to have, especially when you've gone into a community and they may not play your game. Just having it available. I mean, it's always you always hear, how many times do you hear like, oh, I'm not going to go because no one plays my game. But like you're playing yourself. You're literally that person. The person that you're moaning about, you're essentially that person by doing that.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, literally.
Every time.
Yeah, so just get like Badger said, the round robins definitely help. It really brings some diversity to the games. Because without it, people would just be playing standard Tekken.
Bebop says it best. He says like everyone who says I'd come but the game is dead. If everyone who said that came, you'd have a game that's living. And every time we were trying to get Mortal Kombat running, and someone was saying like, oh yeah, no one's gonna be there, so I'm not coming. Every time someone does that, we're like 7 people or 6 people, and I'm like, we could have had a tournament, but some motherfucker decided that there wasn't gonna be, like, he literally decided there wasn't gonna be a tournament today, and there never will be.
Shout outs to all our SF5 players. Like they were like, you guys never run SF5, so we're not going to turn up. And it's like, if you guys turned up, we'd run SF5.
Yeah, I gotta say, we gotta put the Bristol, the guys who go to the Bristol weeklies. We gotta blow you up for that. The Street Fighter 5 guy for Bristol, like, how would they always be moaning? They're always moaning that their game's not being played. It's because your dumbass ain't turning up.
Christ's sake, I want to play SF5, but. And I'm always there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People will, there will be people that will play it. Like, if you just be, oh yeah, does anyone fancy some fire? Someone will play. Someone will play.
Yeah.
And
Even
then,
if it's just me.
yeah, and then, well, like you said, the round robin incorporates different games being played, and that's what it's all about, man. You just gotta turn up, go to your locals.
Yeah, that's the
on.
key point
That's
here.
what it's all about. Just going,
Just go,
keep
man.
numbers
Like,
up, man. Yeah.
Hashtag
even
go
if
to your
you-
locals.
for real, even if your game's not being played, just try some other ones. You might end up liking them.
Yeah.
Mm.
And in the same way, people will try your game, and
Yeah.
they might like it as well.
Well, there's no guarantee.
We'll
there.
just harass
I mean,
people
there's no
enough, and
guarantee,
eventually.
yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee, but you got to try, right? You can't be having that defeatist kind of mentality with your game. So Bernie, I know you wanted to go last with your.
Oh, it's not interesting at all. Sorry.
Oh well, apparently, man, you wanted to go last.
you guys have been to the locals down here, right? Because Talk and Surf Gaming down in Cardiff, they used to run Street Fighter. Well, they still run locals. Like I say, used to. No one's running locals at the fucking moment, but they used to be like the sole people running locals in Cardiff. And honestly, I was getting annoyed because no one was showing, and I didn't want to lose locals because here's me, always wanted to get into fighting games. Finally found like people that play fighting games with. This is a genre that I've loved, that I've never been able to play because of just the way it it conducts itself, right? So finally we get this stuff, and I realized that like the word's not out there. I found out about Talking Surf Gaming by chance, by complete and utter chance, right? And then I found out about you guys because people knew about you guys before they knew about us who lived in Wales, which I thought was absolutely fucking ridiculous. So I thought, just on the offhand, I was like, we need to get a bit of a social media presence just so people know. So I think, how do you find fighting game stuff, right? How do you find out about results, stuff like that? It's like Twitter, yeah? And then there's like maybe YouTube. You know, it's never really Facebook, I find, or anything like that. So I thought I'll make a Twitter account, and that's literally how it started. Stuff just snowballed.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to do this shit at first. I thought I'll do this. And then someone else would be like, do you know what? I'm gonna pick this ball up and I'm gonna run with it, you know? But instead, I was kind of like, I'm doing this. I might as well try and do this. And I can't. And then that and that. And then obviously everyone else got involved. So like the key members are obviously there's Bebop, who he does a lot. Like obviously he's kind of became, because I'm not a distinctive person, right? I don't make great impressions for all sorts of reasons. So he's kind of the outward facing person, right? And he does commentary, and
he does, man does everything, man.
He does a lot. And then we have like Reese, who does, because like here's the thing, right? I would do almost everything, right? But if someone else wants to do something, I am all for them doing it, right?
Yeah.
So like Mike doing commentary, right? I wouldn't mind doing commentary, but like it's a lot of focus, you know, because like, well, most of you guys have commentated before, yeah. How much focus? How much focus does it take?
Well, I've been trying to get into more commentary because I really enjoy it. I really enjoy like this like hosting podcasts.
But it's not easy.
I do enjoy commentary, but obviously, especially with Tekken, where there's a lot to know. It can be difficult, for sure. It can be difficult.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. And you can't be doing something else while you do that. And then...
Oh, no.
It's also something you got to kind of hone. You got to work on, right? So I wasn't going to put in all that effort for it. So, like, you know, Mike steps up and, like, fucking have it, you know? Have that shit. Reese, he decided to design, which is a great thing, because have you seen Reese's work? Alt0.
Yeah.
He does fantastic shit. And Excel, like, lucky to have his ass, right?
Yeah, shout out Alt0.
Yeah, without him, you would see fucking garish, fucking piss green and gasoline green, piss yellow and gasoline green everywhere. Right?
It looked like all the shit I make. So without him,
it would no. I don't have an artistic fucking bone in my body. Shit would look ghastly, right? Without him, so he's fucking saved you all from an eyesore, and then Payro, he does, and you listen in, Shaq, right? Payro. Can you repeat that for me?
Cairo.
Did he get
Cairo,
upset with the pronunciation last week?
I love a bit of Cairo.
He didn't get upset, but anyway.
Now, Pyro's a great guy. I don't know what you're talking
oh
about.
oh my god! Oh boy, I can't believe you decided. I thought no, John, I'm gonna be nice. So anyway, he does a lot because I mean he's hauling shit around because like that. Like you talk about people who's unappreciated. It's always the people who are like hauling shit around, driving people. That's the one thing that I've always seen has gotten like it does go without appreciation because like obviously when I was training, like when I was wrestling training, the people who were driving people everywhere, they were people who were taken for granted all the time as well. It's obviously the same everywhere else, and he's driving people, he's driving equipment, he's helping set things up. So like, I think those are like the 4 core members who keep shit running down here, and we all just kind of fell into role at that point.
Yeah.
So like I handled a lot of the organization stuff, and honestly, I started to enjoy it. But like, I mean, I'm like re-stepping up and doing design work. Fantastic, because I'm shit at that.
Yeah.
Payroll just basically hauling stuff around, helping TO things, and just nudging me in the right direction sometimes as well. Fucking amazing. And then Mike actually being an outward facing person and helping like maintain communication, just keeping stuff well and just doing everything else behind the scenes is fantastic because I'm not a good person to represent the community because I say so much and do so much dumb shit.
I mean, it's FGC who doesn't.
Especially at weekly squad.
The one thing which I remember all of a sudden, right, is because we ran a couple events at Kong's down here, right? And we're rocking up, we're setting up, and it's showing us all these things, right? And they're showing us like the mixer for music and stuff like that. I said, you can turn it down, all that. And he goes, we even have this. And he like turns off half the lights. And I look around like, whoa. And I turn to Payro and I go, we fucking. And I don't know why I said that, but that's a terrible first impression. But you know, I can't be that person.
I don't know, man. That would have sold me on you immediately.
But
I mean, it's nice. I think it's godlike that we like without even realizing you end up having this like this structure like within the community. You know, you got the people that just kind of come and play, and they play a pivotal role. Obviously, without them, there is no FGC obviously. And then you've got like you said, you've got the tournament organizers, you got the guy that's lugging stuff everywhere, you got like the social media guy, you know, the presence of the community. It's just interesting how it just runs by itself, like without even. Yeah,
because I never really asked anyone to do any of this, you know, like no one asked me to do any of this, and it just happens. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's godlike, and so with as you guys, you know, you do your tournament organizing, you know, what we have learned and experienced is that, you know, opportunities can present themselves. And it's as crazy as it sounds, like, you know, we've been involved in the Tekken Pro Tour previously.
Oh damn, yeah.
And what was that like? Because that was a huge event. Honestly, that's the fact that it was in Bristol. Like I was getting emotional. Like that, the fact that we were like, even though it was only a was it tier 1, tier 2?
It was tier 1, but like let's put it out there for the record. The only reason why it was a tier 1 is because, you know, the building wasn't big enough, right? Yeah. That wasn't it. It wasn't because, you know, we weren't prepared, you know, or we didn't have the setups. No, it's just Bristol couldn't handle us, you know.
Bristol couldn't handle it.
Also, the lack of 2-for-1 pizzas.
Yeah, that's it. Bring it back. You know, I never had this. I haven't had this experience, so like, you know, essential. Yeah.
But for me personally, you know, I've been amongst it for oh my god, we're in 2020, right? So how many years have I been in this shit? Since Sodium Showdown 11, whatever the hell that was.
Oh, I didn't even know when that was.
Yeah, God knows what that was. But like,
way before.
I think it's crazy to be amongst a pro tour that I've watched for years. Like, kind of just you watch streams of it, you know, you watch all these tournaments, all these like high level players, and then you got like so many high level players like in your backyard. I mean, it's crazy to me. And how was that? Because obviously I know you, T, and Bernie, and I think Badger as well. I think you all kind of got involved in this. This tournament, and Jack as well in the chat. You know, feel free to engage. Like, what was that like to arrange? Because that was probably your biggest project, right? In terms of
infuriating, bro. You seen that big group photo that's going around?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was taking a fucking slash, bro. It's not fun.
Right? Damn. Good. Has no one photoshopped you in yet?
I can do it. If you want to be photoshopped in, I can make that happen for you, man.
You need to grab that fucking photo of me just sat in TSG on my own at locals. Just chuck me in there, bro.
Yeah. So what was the because obviously tournament organizers and it comes with it pros and cons, that's for sure. So what was really difficult about that Stadium Showdown, part of the Tekken Pro Tour? What was it that made it like quite difficult, if it was difficult?
I'll tell you, you're better at answering that because I think the only reason it went as smooth as it did is because you lot were really, really fucking carrying it on your backs. Like there were no like conflicting matches. There was no like big delays that I can remember. So like it was. I think you guys are more ready to answer that.
I mean, you played a pivotal role when it came to like, especially the stream setup was all you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you was
hardware
right.
It was mad scuffed, man. Everything I tried to set up for the stream fell through. I was so annoyed. But like, I mean,
yeah, but we came up with a stream and a good one at that. I'm pretty sure like OBS went down during grand finals. That was a bit.
It wasn't OBS. That was
OBS.
Twitch.
Oh, Twitch.
That was Twitch. Yeah, everyone streamed right now because someone in the chat was saying Spag stream went down at the same time.
Okay.
So I was typing. I was doing play-by-play in the chat by text.
Just like the olden days.
Yeah, there's no better way to scuff the stream. It wasn't our fault, so
And are you?
It was unavoidable.
Do you have experience with like kind of bringing stream setups? So I know that's something that we've incorporated to Waistman Weeklies somewhat recently. Like, is that something that you were doing at the locals at Wales as well, like providing the stream?
When we were running at TSG, like when we were running their event, we'd occasionally have the stream. It depended on them because sometimes they just wouldn't set it up or wouldn't let us use it, or we'd have Fortnite kids legitimately throwing hands right next to it, so it wasn't. I'm not even lying, man. I'm not even lying. Full on bare knuckle Queensberry rules going down right next to us. We couldn't do it. But aside from that, like when we were running Kongs, we can't do it, and when we were running at the Vaults, which is a fantastic venue in Cardiff, the Arcade Vaults, big ups to them. We'd occasionally have a stream, but the problem is we didn't really have the numbers to run it because we didn't have anyone dedicated to man the stream most of the time, and then we didn't have commentators and so on and so forth. So it would be more of like a glorified VOD than anything most of the time. But like obviously, as you knew, as you should know, because I'm a fucking hilarious dude. I did stream quite a lot at home. So like,
I know about that.
Jack Daniels. I remember
what am I
Jack
gonna
Daniels.
fucking play if I
listen, everyone in the chat, Bernie's streams were actually good.
Yeah, they're
pizza time.
Yeah,
was
me and my bros just like sending pizza time into song requests, like 10 out of 10.
Do you remember there was the slowed down version, like the one that's repeatedly like it got slower.
Yeah.
Your streams were very entertaining. Very entertaining.
But I had a lot of experience doing that. And then there's like I can't ever remember his name. There's a YouTube guy, Epos Vox, I think. He's done like a fucking 12-hour masterclass on OBS. So I watched the entire thing. So like I knew a lot about OBS and learned a lot about the files, upload speeds, audio compression as well to try and get, the audio coming about right. So like a lot of it was theory stuff and some practice I'd done at home, but I've never really had much experience of setting up streams, which is mad that it went well as it did, because every time the few times we did set up streams over here, there was always something going wrong at the last minute. Yeah. So I was breaking it. Yeah. There always is. But no, it was kind of like just trying to do my best on the day, which I think is the case for a lot of us, because you guys run a fucking great thing over there, and you always have like decent, like more than decent numbers. Not always, but when you do the Sodium Showdowns, they always pop in, people having a great time, and you're running like multiple games at once. So like, even though you were doing a Tekken World Tour Dojo event, it really shown that for you guys it was kind of business as usual, but most of it went. So like,
I mean, it's only because we've got a lot of people that want to help out, which is like
Yeah.
super great. Shout out to all those guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then even
sure.
then, too many cooks can spoil the broth in that instance. So
That's true. That's very true. Because I think like when it came to that Stadium Showdown, pretty much all of the regular guys were like down, like yeah, we'll help out.
Mhm.
Because like to be honest, I think just vast majority, like a lot of us probably just went 0-2, 1-2, 2-2 in the tournament anyway. So we all had time. We all had time to
Competition's
help
fierce.
out. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I went like 0-2, and I just went on commentary, where Bebop carried me through commentary.
no, that's not true, bro. That's not true.
Oh no, he carried.
I mean, it's good
Did you
commentary in
see
general.
the
man.
chat though, man?
Yeah.
You guys were getting props. Someone said these commentators are hilarious. No, I was
I
like,
know.
oh my
I've
God.
never watched. I never even watched the chat back to me. I never.
Single fucking tear fell from my eye, bro. I was so proud of you.
You
That was
and
passion.
even
That
I
was
remember you
passion.
like I remember you coaching us with like bits of paper like
Scuffed, bro.
yeah.
Don't
like,
ever read the chat back for streams though.
Oh yeah,
No,
no, that's fine. Oh yeah, that goes without saying. I mean, I don't really mind anyway. I don't really care. I don't really
Did I
care.
ever tell you about my my first major when we went to the fucking I think it was the last hype spot in.
Yeah.
I had that match on stream against Kobalcog, and I went back through the chat, and there was a Bernie's free, and what the fuck is Jon Snow chewing? That was a good one. So like on that day, I vowed never to go back over a stream for my chats. Big F for
Damn.
hype spotting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
man. That was
good
great.
times.
Yeah, hype spot boys. You're probably not even watching this, but like, just know,
Mm.
we want you back. We want you back so bad.
Yeah, I think that's when we kind of started traveling again as well.
That was our first big travel hype
Yeah,
spotting, right?
because we had like the jumpers as well that I kind of cooked up at the last minute, and then
Yeah, the
Oh, the
jumpers.
jump. I still have mine.
yeah, that's
I
the
got
Don't
one.
fit as well as it used to, but I still have it.
Yeah, man. More merch. When's the merch? We need more merch. We need more merch coming soon. Watch this space. More merch.
Damn. Watch this.
Well, you guys saw my model, didn't you?
Model?
You model.
My epic Photoshop.
Oh, I think I remember. I think I remember. But,
Shit.
What? Wait, what?
Wait,
What is this?
what?
Sorry, I tapped out in Discord.
But anyway, we're moving on. Torres, for you. So in the instance of that Sodium Showdown,
Mhm.
and you're seeing the entries kind of climb, and you're seeing like people tweeting in, oh, let's get into this tier of Tekken Dojo event. Is it happy? Is it like, oh yeah, this is gonna be godlike, or oh man, this is gonna be stress?
I was bricking it.
Yeah, I think it's both really. I mean, I think on that day we got me like just under 90 attendees, including like commentators and just tiers. So I think it was a bit of both really. Like I think during that weekend that was a bad weekend for me because like, I kind of crashed my car like in the week.
Oh yeah,
so...
yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I wasn't in the best state. But I think overall it's kind of just stressful and good in a sense, just as I knew we were getting the right amount of numbers in because we had like people down from like London, like the Elf guys, some quite a few names that kind of showed up like Phantom, some others as well that I can't remember, but
yeah. Shout out to all them for coming through. Yeah, they came through. Some of them came through like from London, all that stuff. Yeah, Azim came through. Yeah, shout out to them for coming through.
But no, it was a good event. I have to say I think Jack kind of led the way really in terms of getting sponsors in, like Blunderbuss, Brooke, and kind of just making it aware that it was going to be something they wouldn't forget, and I think we'll see more of those in the future really. So
yeah, I hope so, man, 100%. When all this Rona's COVID-19 stuff blows over.
Yeah.
For me, this like I was breaking it because I was like, I don't know. I always think something's gonna, go wrong, but it didn't really hit until the day, and I looked around. I was like, holy fuck, there's a lot of people here.
I remember because we went early, right? Because obviously we were there early. Like we were like, I don't think the venue was even open, was it? Like we were there before the venue was even open.
Yeah, I think we got there like 2 hours before, so like around 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just like everyone starts piling in the same time. We're like, God, this is stacked.
Yeah, it was nuts. And then like you can see Rose's photos that she uploaded, and it is absolutely fucking packed. I mean, we couldn't do that today because everyone gets sick. But it was so packed. And like I said, it was just amazing that it went as well as it did.
Yeah, I went super. For me, in my opinion, I was helping out little bits where I can. Did a bit of scuff, did a little bit of scuff commentary. But in my opinion,
not scuff commentary. Don't sell yourself.
Whatever. I'm working on it. But I think it went pretty well. But obviously, it's easy for me to say that because obviously I don't really have the pressures of making sure that it does run well. In conclusion to that tournament, do we reckon it went well? Was it a bit scuffed? Like, out of 10, how do you think it kind of went?
Everyone had a great time, bro.
Yeah, it was a good time for everyone, really. I think everyone enjoyed it. Everyone really enjoyed it. I think from my.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So
yeah, it was a real good time.
Yeah,
the wheels didn't fucking come off, so we can drink to that.
Yeah, the front did not fall off. That's great.
No. But where does that leave us now, considering, we've had all these cool events and now COVID-19 is hit, and people are taking things online. This is a totally different dynamic. Like, online, quote-unquote, locals do not work the same as offline locals.
No.
I think it's just that interaction, really.
The first thing that jumps out to me, though, the ELF lot, right? And they obviously do the TNT series. They did a tournament, I think it's the last one they did, and they had a bunch of Spanish players sign up. And then a day or two after, they said they were restricting signups to, I think it was either UK only.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they just let kind of EU players just kind of come through, and then they kind of realized it's a bit tough,
they cut it off. They cut off the signups within a few hours. What do you guys think about that? Because it does kind of show that people are missing their locals. Because if these players,
I know I am.
Yeah,
I'm definitely missing my locals. Yeah. I think I said it last episode as well. But I remember getting on the flight back. Well, my flight was coming in a few weeks, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go home, play some games with the boys, get some cans in, get some drink, get some pints in, just chilling. And then all the COVID thing dropped, and I was like, no, man. And then they were saying, obviously, everything's going to get shut down, locked down. I'm like, no.
And a net play is trash.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But to be honest, it has brought up opportunities for me because I'm doing a bit more commentary and content creation such as this podcast. So there's some pros and cons, that's for sure. But like you said, it's a completely different dynamic when it comes to online tournaments. Things are done a little differently. And shout outs to Badge, you're kind of pretty much running that in terms of the stream. You hold the stream down.
Yeah, I've been the Wi-Fi weekly stream. Yeah, I've been running out of my fucking bedroom. It's not all scuffed. It's great.
Yeah, but do you stream? Because you've streamed a little bit anyway, right? So I guess you kind of knew what you was doing.
I knew I could do it, but I vaguely know how OBS works, and just about everything has looked okay so far, apart from that one time I forgot to put stream the game to the commentators, so they're just like, what the fuck's going on?
I remember the one time I was streaming and I was playing Absolver, if you guys have played that game.
I've seen it.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I mean, I can't really recommend it because there's a lot of player interaction. If it's dead, you won't get much of it. But I streamed it for about 3 hours. I can't remember. I think Jack came in and he said it might be you, Badger. I'm not sure. Someone came in and they said you sound a bit weird. And for the 3 hours, I was streaming, capturing my audio from my fucking webcam rather than my microphone.
I think I was there for that stream. I don't know if I said it, but I was definitely there.
Someone fucking said it, and either I checked afterwards before, but I was like, oh my god, I was embarrassed because usually I fucking test shit, and the one time I didn't test shit, I sound like I'm fucking talking from the bottom of a toilet bowl, just echoey as fuck. You can't hear shit. Luckily no one was fucking watching because I was playing fucking Absolver. No one's gonna watch that shit.
But yeah, now when it comes, people need to. It's easier said than done because obviously, when it comes to streaming, there's a lot of tech involved.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
Especially when you're like streaming. Am I right in saying that it's a bit more like iffy when you're streaming from like consoles? So I'm guessing with his PC, it's kind of like just. Because I've streamed a few times myself, and it's pretty basic. So, but I'm not sure if it's any a bit more finicky when it comes to streaming.
I mean, I've got I'm using Elgato to stream consoles. The one time we ran last week when we ran Tekken on PS4. That's what I used, but like, yeah, I mean, there's just extra software and there's extra settings you have to do, and sometimes it just doesn't want to capture, and it can be a pain, yeah.
And then you have like the well-known thing with Elgato, like the older versions where you have to delay the fucking audio, otherwise it doesn't sync up. And whereas on PC, when you're like, you gotta obviously be wary of the performance issues. But I mean, you can use like the NVIDIA NVEC coding, which is basically what you use for shadow play to cut off most like performance overhead. So like stuff is just much easier when you're recording from PC.
Yeah.
Whereas you have you're using external like shit for your streaming the consoles and stuff like that. So that's a whole different kettle of fish. I mean, what about Sodium when someone plugs their headset into the pads and then it cuts off the stream audio?
Oh, that's annoying. You know? That's bad.
How do you foresee that shit? You can't unless you have it out to you. You have no idea that's gonna happen. Who would ever think about that?
I just think, why would you do that? I just think, like, come on, man. Like, you can't hog all the audio. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, they probably didn't realize it was gonna happen.
No. People do it at home. Like, they just think, I'm just fucking plug it in, and then suddenly the stream's about sound, and you're like, how does this happen?
Yeah, no. I mean, you know, there's always hiccups, but it's part and parcel, I guess, with like being.
But then when you're doing online as well, when you're streaming online tournaments, you got people's connections to worry about. You got setting up the lobbies. You got all sorts. It's a lot of stuff that I can't, you know. Ugh.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So there's one thing I do want to ask, like, being a TO, do you have? Because for me personally, am I a man driven by goals? I don't, not really. I kind of take every day as it comes. So as a TO, are you looking to make your community make that tournament to the next level? Like when you do your locals, you're like, right, the locals are cool right now, but I want like more attendance, or like I want like a bigger venue, or I want better equipment? Or are you kind of just like content and you're just kind of just yeah, I know this is running sufficiently, I'm chilling?
It's you always got to be trying to boost your locals. I mean, I think the most harmful mindset too, and I try to like make sure I don't fall into, is that like obviously you're all like the majority of you're all friends at locals. Some people are there just to compete and not there for the social aspect, but I think that's the minority. What you don't want to let it be is like a big clique, because then no one's going to come to locals and join the locals, because it's just a group of friends playing games rather than a community playing games. So you should always be trying to grow your locals, I think. Aspirations aside, you need the people to, you know, to keep your stuff bolstered. You can't be thinking, I want to do a major, when you can't even have like consistent welcoming locals. Of course, saying that though, there's always an ulterior motive, right? Not ulterior motive, but like you said, like goals. And I always just wanted to see, you know, my initial thing was try and get a stream going, which we get a stream going, people see the stream and they come to locals. But then I quickly realized that even though that's something I want to do, it's not what's going to benefit the scene right now. So like I had to kind of put what I wanted from the scene, you know, out back while I work to actually build it up.
Yeah, I get that. I respect that.
Yeah, so there's always something I want to do with the scene, but the primary goal is to grow the scene and keep it healthy.
I
can agree with that.
Yeah, so like with like, it goes without saying, like, you know, maintenance of the scene, you know, keeping it thriving, keeping it going, is obviously paramount. But you like to think you'd be able to kind of incorporate your kind of goals and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, sure. I would have thought that's still like a feasible target. I would have thought. Obviously, with it, this is the thing that obviously in current climate as well, with the situation that's going on. Obviously, everything's up a bit up in the air right now. But yeah, that seems like a target that's achievable, and I think like it'll do great things as well. It's always nice to have a stream. for a tournament.
Goals
you know?
change though. Goals change. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
we quickly like reassessed everything because we were like we need a consistent venue, and then what is it? We want to like because we wanted to run Tekken World Tour Dojo event, and we kind of did that with you guys, and now we're like we want to do the same thing, but we want to do it in Wales, and it all has a cascade and domino effect where it's like to do that we need a venue, and then we need this, then we need the stream, but to do that we need the right venue and so on.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone has their own little goals for it, I guess. I mean, not goals, but something they'd want to work on. So
that's healthy, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it goes without saying, but it's good to. I think it's important to point out that with that Stadium Showdown, it was absolutely like a collaboration between SMBF and SWFGC.
We all learned something coming out of it, which is
for sure. And I think the success of that tournament wouldn't have been possible if it was just us or just you guys. I think the collaboration really made it what it was. Really made it successful. Kind of banging our heads together and just kind of working together. So I think that's important.
Ideas together. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really kind of you to say. I got a dip. I need to pee real quick.
No worries, man. No worries. We appreciate you letting us know, man.
So we're back in a sec.
It's gonna okay, thank God he didn't leave the call. That would have completely ruined everything. It's all right.
So when it comes to we'll talk about kind of Waistman weeklies. It's been going on for so long now, long time. But despite that, I feel like the most progression has been in recent times with the current gen of tournament organizers and the current gen of players and things like that. In the span of time that you've been running things, we've seen a copious amount of games being tried out and being available at the scene. We've seen Sodium Showdowns with like huge participation, huge numbers, and recently obviously we've seen a stream. We got ourselves a stream. We're looking to get more equipment. So what is there more on the cards? Is there more you guys are looking to do for Waistmans? Is there any targets in sight?
Not sure on targets at the moment. I think just because I've been kind of on a hiatus recently.
Yeah.
I think Jack's kind of.
Yeah, Jack's kind of carrying the thing with help from you guys, you and Badger, and a bit of Vertigo as well.
I think our goal was just to kind of improve numbers, really, just get numbers up. And like what Brady said earlier, it's kind of done through the stream. We've also been quite frequent on social media now as well. Twitter updates, and just kind of getting the word out there that Bristol is doing something. We're trying to compete with like the big guys like Birmingham, like London.
Let me speak on that a little bit. Let me speak. Listen, right. I've not been to a Birmingham thing for a long time. Last time I went to a Birmingham thing, I think it was for Street Fighter 4 and I went to where else have I been? Locals. I've been to Newcastle. I'm in Sunderland at university, so I went to the Newcastle locals. Our locals are godlike. We got the venue. The venue's nice, and we got the turnout too.
Yeah, the people.
We've got a great thing. We got a strong thing going on, in my opinion. Obviously, London's going to be like a big. It's a big step event. London's a big event because it's London, right? It's the capital. But I think we got something strong here in Bristol. And again, it's thanks to the progress that we've been making over time, and thanks to you guys for carrying the thing. But so how would you guys feel about? Because you see tournaments like Evo and Combo Breaker, and how would you guys feel about running something like that? If you had the opportunity, to look, you've got all this money to pump into like a huge event, like big ass event, big ass venue. Would you be game for that, or would you be like, nah, that's like out of my depth?
I mean, I wouldn't know what I was doing. I'd definitely need help with that one.
I think it'd be in time, just because from past Stadium where we obviously hosted, Tekken Tour, I think that was quite. wouldn't say a struggle, but it was quite hard in terms of organization.
Mm.
I think that would probably be my only con about doing that. But I mean, it would also mean giving up the lanes because obviously with the 100-man capacity that it has,
yeah.
there's only so much.
Yeah.
But
we
I
can
think
do
what
that
Shaq's trying to
space.
get at is that if you didn't have like limitations like that, so if you
Yeah.
didn't have like monetary limitations, venue limitations, would you go for it?
Yeah. That's essentially.
I mean, I'd be happy to. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else like Max, Jack,
Yeah.
Isaac.
But if you could pay your TOs and your
Mm.
your bracket organizers and all that, they'd be more than happy to do it.
I mean, I'd want to do it as long as we keep it a little less than esports. Then I'm game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's easy. You got to remember, see, the way I think of it is that if you let someone else like who's not in the FGC run a fighting game tournament, it's not going to be fucking good, right? You're going to have best of ones on a 50-inch plasma TV, no sticks allowed. There's a reason why like many places don't run fighting game tournaments because they don't know how. People don't realize.
Yeah.
They don't realize you need DLC, you need responsive monitors, you need to make sure matches are kept on time.
Yeah, update games and season passes and all that.
Yeah. So like being able to do like a premium event like that, I would fucking love because
I would love to be a part of a premium event.
Yeah, because a lot of the really down to like brass tacks stuff we know just from being in the scene and basically existing in the scene.
Yeah.
And stuff like organizing and all that, keeping matches on time and stuff like that. I think we've worked out enough that we could figure that stuff out. It's always outside influences which stop us from doing that. Venue setups and all that stuff. So being able to just let loose and have a huge event where, everyone in the scene can contribute to, whether playing or organizing, would be a fantastic thing, I think.
Yeah, but unfortunately, money is a thing, and
fighting games aren't quite Fortnite.
No.
Shouts to Fortnite.
No shouts. No shouts.
No, we're shouting out Fortnite.
Nah, two weeks is like my favorite game, guys.
We're not shouting out Fortnite. We're not.
It's a Fortnite, man.
It's a Fortnite joke.
It's a Fortnite.
But anyway, there's one last thing that I do mention because we're in over like an hour and a bit, so I'll close out in a little bit. But I do want to mention, being a TO, it probably comes with some kind of annoying things that happen and shit that probably like gets you pretty salty. So I want to hear what are like the pet peeves, the shit that really that's just annoying that people do or things happen and it's just like bare annoying.
Smokers. Smokers.
Is this just in general, or only like? Are you okay with smokers when they're not? At a tournament?
Yeah. No, I'm okay with them in general, but like tournaments, they are a pain.
Yeah, trying to run a game and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, they're outside smoking." It's like, oh.
Yeah,
I gotta play devil's avocado on this. Sorry, bro. Every smoker I've had at tournaments I've run, they've always told me for a smoke. Like every single time about fail, they say, "Am I good to go for a smoke?" So like I have had no problems with smokers,
I'm pretty sure Waistmans, like people just dip out.
Yeah.
People just who's a smoker like a Waistman?
Vertigo's always missing.
I don't think he smokes anymore. I think he stopped.
Yeah, he did stop. Yeah, he did stop. But
yeah.
One of you needs to dip to have a quick snack of Huel trademark.
Fucking Huel.
Huel gang.
Fuck Fortnite.
Sponsored by Huel.
Yeah, Janus a misstep though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
They kind of just roll out like, oh, it's gonna have a sewer in me.
Jacka saying he's the main culprit, bro. You get a free pass, man.
I mean, you're the TO now. You're alright.
Yeah.
Although it's like Jack, it's like people trying to report their scores. It's like, oh yeah, Jack's outside. Please go to the smoking area to report your score.
But like for me, the one thing like just like again, shout out to you guys because the amount of times like I've been going for a while. To this day, I just don't know how you set up a setup. I just don't get it. I don't know why. Like I'm pretty clued up when it comes to technology-ish. I know how to plug stuff into a socket.
I'm gonna be honest. I still don't know how they arrange all the extension leads under the table.
Oh, that's not me.
And
That's not
it looks like a fire hazard to me.
me. That's not me.
Yeah, it's we won't go into that.
That's-
We'll mention that, but it works. It's just, the lanes had a bit of a change up. Oh God, when was it? Probably about 3 years ago, and since then it's just been a bit of a struggle in terms of.
You
Yeah,
guys
stuff.
got it pretty handy though, because you always have the same layout. When we show up places, it's like a fucking randomly generated dungeon. It's like, okay, that table wasn't there before. You know, what is this shit? We can't go more. Setting up, man. What a hassle.
Yeah.
I only do half of it, honestly. Most of the other lads pick up the slack there.
Yeah, and out of curiosity, this is something a bit off topic. I did want to ask this. Before we cut the thing. You guys have been doing it for a little bit now. Is this something that you might, something this is something you can put on your CV or something that you might go into a job like that'll like have transferable skills?
It's on my CV.
Yeah. I've used it and it's landed
Yeah, are you?
I have a very carefully worded section about it on my CV.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, because when I applied for uni, I even put it in like the statement, like I go to like a local event where I help like set up and run things at this event, which is complete BS. So I don't. I just go there and play.
Mate, if you need to use it, use it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I do help a little bit sometimes.
It's fine. I'll write you a reference if you want, but you'd have to spell check it for me though.
Yeah, that's fine.
The second person from like the top was at my my job interview, and he was asking me about my stream, and we were talking about like Twitch and Mixer and stuff like that. So like that got me in some good books. Yeah. Like it kind of made up for when I talked about flat Earth with the other chick there. She was Australian, and I was like, "Where are you from?" And she's like, "Oh, I had a housemate from Adelaide. He was telling me about how people think Australians are all like fake." Like Australians don't exist because flat earthers think Australians don't exist. And she's like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "They think they're all actors." Like, funny enough, he is an actor. And then we kind of got off track topic.
But no, that's something I've been curious in because it seems like you do dedicate a lot of time, like into it's not just something that you do once and that's it. It's something that you do like time and time again until you don't really want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But like, I would have thought there'd be some transferable skills that you can kind of go into employment with. So.
I think Badger hit it right in the head though. You got to word it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my friends put it perfectly. He said like he's got on his CV that he ran a guild and MMO, but he hasn't written it like that. He's written it that he managed a team of individuals to like do such and such. Because you can't just say I run local fighting game tournaments. Like, oh yeah, and he's still making Street Fighter.
I think mine's word is like some kind of I help organize a local community event, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what mine says as well. Because I used that when I got into my first position where I am now. Like I was just saying how I use organization skills at a local event that I go to, and like, kind of just took it from there really, and they were interested in helping. Yeah. So
when in reality you're just screaming, "Gotta get these to someone!"
Yeah, hold that. And literally just shouting, "Hold that!"
Yeah.
But no, just it's transferable skills that you can just use in day-to-day life, really.
I applied for I didn't get it, but I applied for a fucking community manager. I think it was like a marketing manager job for a game company. Because I looked at what they were required, I was like, "Fuck, I do this shit for like my local." So I applied for it anyway. But it's a little hard to sell yourself on that with something so niche. But there is definitely transferable skills into real life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's all about you. Yeah, I mean, you utilize it, right? Like you put enough time into it, so it makes sense. It makes sense. So,
I mean,
I don't know about you guys. I'm definitely not in this for personal gain.
well, I wish I was. I don't get to fucking play the games half the time.
Oh god, I miss playing games.
And then like I finally get a chance, and I'm like, I'd rather grab a pint than my fight stick right now, honestly.
Why not? Why not both?
Oh,
why not both?
I can't play one-handed, bro.
But like, I mean, I know you. I know T and you and Bernie yourself. You're on a bit of like a hiatus when it comes to games. What's it gonna take? What is it gonna take to bring you guys back?
Good net code for one.
Something realistic.
Tekken, the direction it's going in is pretty bad, mainly because there's no communication or roadmap. I mean, they're doing it completely wrong. Bandai Namco at Tekken and Capcom at Street Fighter V are doing a terrible job communicating with their player base.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's pretty bad right now. It's pretty bad.
You can fucking buff high tiers and extend hitboxes inward all you fucking want. No one's gonna know what you're getting at. And then you look at Soul Calibur 6, which has completely shit net code, which is why I don't play it. Well, at least it doesn't crash every third game like Tekken does. But all the patch notes are explained. They explain the direction of the game they're going on. They're explaining the idea behind the balancing. And they're not afraid to literally scrap what they're doing and listen to the fans.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, we had a huge conversation about it. Like me, Bebop and Grievous in the last episode, we had a huge kind of discussion. There is no communication. It's so bad.
But the first big major update they did, the Soul Calibur 6, people said they didn't like it and all that, and like they were making it more offense based, as is the status quo right now. And they reversed a lot of the changes really quickly. Even though they had this whole different philosophy about balancing, decided they scrapped the entire thing because they knew people didn't want it. And that is really difficult to do as a dev team. So shout out to Okubo for being like good at doing what he does.
Where are they? Where are they based? The dev. Where the devs based? Like
they are Bandai Namco. Like they're.
They are Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
So, hang on, if they're Bandai Namco,
Project Soul.
I mean, it's a different team. Like
Project Soul.
Right.
But they're a Japanese company, which is like actually having communication with your user base is very rare. I mean, the only Japanese fighting game dev team I know that do it are Arika, the Fexel devs, because they're another reason. Them and the Unis devs, they're the reason why GGPO has Japanese documentation now.
Right,
because Fexel doesn't have rollback because they didn't have documentation to figure GGPO out. And then when people are trying to get Uniclear to have rollback, that was like the push they made to. It didn't work, but that's the push they made to have the documentation in Japanese. But like, if the Japanese devs communicated with their player base and knew that people wanted rollback, this might have happened way before.
I mean, at least now that it is happening, Guilty Gear is going to have it.
It's happening fucking a decade later.
Yeah.
That's it. The problem is that's if they do it right too, because we all seen Street Fighter 5, right? And that
the thing about Street Fighter 5 is they fixed the fucking issues in Marvel Infinite, but no one fucking played that game. Sadly, I'm still pissed about Infinite. I
remember on PC playing in ranked, and every single time I get ranked against the only other player playing, and it was Grievous every single time.
I'm so salty about that game, man.
Yeah, Marvel was that. I mean, it just looked garbage. It basically was garbage, in my opinion. The tournaments that they ran, that like the Infinity Stone tournament, which is
oh my god.
No. Let's not go there.
Dumb.
But to bring it back to what you're saying, you got I have a slightly different viewpoint as a TO than most players do, and you're asking me and other people as well to expend the time, energy, and money to organize events for this game that you are not treating well, and you're not addressing the user base. I mean, for all I know, the next Tekken 7 update might make Michael Murray come through your monitor and kick you in the fucking balls. We don't know, But who wants to pay a ton of money to travel and compete in a game where you're unclear if that's gonna be the same game in a couple of weeks' time?
I tell you what, I know there's certainly people that want a game where Michael Murray kicks them in the balls. Those people definitely exist.
But it's sad because people say to me, good netcode, you can play fucking KI or MK, but that's not how it works. I find my game. I don't make a game my game. I find a game I vibe with.
Sure. Yeah, for
and
sure.
I wish I could support these games, but
I mean, it goes without saying that like people, you say that like people, people are still going to make that journey to go to those tournaments, those Tekken tournaments, even though the devs are just kind of doing whatever the hell they want. It got mentioned last week in our podcast that I'm pretty sure they ask pros, what changes will be a good idea.
Yeah, they did.
But it's just not implemented. So like, are they but why? Like, why?
They ask pros and then they put them on a list of what not to do.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Like they like to tell. It's like, do you know when like you're about to do something and then your mum tells you to do it and then you don't really want to do it anymore? I think it's essentially like
it's because you got two different parties with two different goals. The Tekken 7 team want to do what they're doing already, and the players want what they want. There's no communication. There's no way for them to, suss stuff out. Whereas the Soul Calibur team say their part, tell everyone the rationale behind it. The players say, this is why we don't want this, and then they work it out. With a Tekken team, they're looking at the things people are bringing to them, and they're like, we can't do this because then we have to scrap everything. And it's there's no communication, so there's no middle ground to work on, and people are in their own little bubbles. So you can't really take on suggestions when people don't know, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like if their entire philosophy is make things more rigid and like less focus on movement, and everyone is saying, no, we want more focus on movement, it's a lot easier to just be like, oh no, let's just stick with what we're doing. Because otherwise we'd have to actually communicate with the player base and see how they want this to be implemented.
Yeah, but how hard can that be, man? Just a bit of communication, like.
It ain't easy. I mean, you've seen how Murray's been handling it, and he's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, but he's been a dev though. He's not really. Is it really in his job description, to make these to be tweeting out to the fans about like doing this and doing that? Because it was clear with that, the whole controversy the other week with him. It's clear. It seems to me that he's not able to do that bit of the job. Like I'm sure he does great things behind the scenes, but in terms of actually like bringing it to the masses and communicating it, I mean, maybe it's just not for him. And obviously there's some nasty trolls on there to say like horrible shit. Like Reddit is just bare negativity and stuff. But like. It's like what? Like it's the internet, man. The internet love a witch hunt, and you just need to learn to deal with it. How hard is it to pay somebody? How hard is it to pay someone? Yeah, no, it can't be easy. But how hard is it to just pay somebody a salary to just make some tweets out? All we ask is that if you make the thing is you can make a change, and say, look, we made this change for this reason. I can live with that.
Yeah, no, that they should do though.
At the end of the day, they're making the game. They can do whatever changes. For me personally, in my opinion, I just want to know why.
Yeah,
that's what you want. I just want to know why, and that's it.
And like, it's not like actually being a community manager and placating your audience is difficult because there's so many other people and so many moving things to worry about. But just cutting your players in, I mean, almost all other like game genres and a lot of fighting games do it. Killer Instinct do it. They give like frame data, they give all the rationale. Soul Calibur do it. And the fact they did that has cut out so many loose ends. People don't have to second guess this. They don't have to guess that. The fucking patch notes are correct most of the time. Let's not forget how we've had like lots of things like stealth changes, patch notes being incorrect or just labeled weirdly.
The hierarchical effects got down.
Yeah. When you release a patch and instead of people being like, oh, okay, cool, it just raises further questions. You're doing something wrong with your communication.
Yeah, it's just transparency, please.
Having your director come out and say some dumb shit, it doesn't help. But if you just cut those like questions off at the roots and just give people the answers, you wouldn't have to say dumb shit.
Yeah, exactly. Transparency is clear. Just let us know everything, I mean, off topic, like transparency is so key. You got like games that have the frame data within it, and it has like good tutorials and just like lets you know everything, so there's no question. Like in terms of like patch notes as well, they just explain to you what's going on. Even like I swear, Granblue's got like a glossary of just like terminology. Yeah, Granblu's got like Granblu's got as far to do a glossary, and that's like
that's how they roll, man.
I mean, that's like. that's like it's just so it's quite good, nice to have where you just have this just communication, like provide us with these tools, provide us with these things, and we'll be happy. We might moan a little bit, but it's the internet. Everybody moans.
I mean, when I was checking out Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, and the tutorial was fucking teaching me option select. It was fucking great. It was teaching me the core of the quote unquote rock paper scissors gameplay.
Yeah.
So like it told you how to guard, throw break, and sidestep. And I thought, okay, cool, I know how to do those. And it says, now this is how you fucking hell, this is ahead of its time. Most fighting games didn't start doing this. I mean, if you compare it to Tekken Tag 2's tutorial, have any of you played that?
No, I've not played that.
No.
It shows you the mechanics. It doesn't tell you how to use them. Like, do you know how it teaches you how to do sidestepping? It has jackpots fucking fly at you, right? Motherfuckers don't do that shit, right? If you give me a practical setup, the sidestep, I'd be like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know there was an option. No jack player is going to come from off screen fucking T-posing into me. That's not practical fucking knowledge. And then that's it. It never brings it up again. Shoddiest fucking tutorial.
Maybe start with that and then go for an actual practical setup afterwards.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that.
Especially Tekken with this, like, it's such a legacy game. Like,
and when it's teaching you combos, it puts fucking like low gravity on, so you're not even learning real combo potential. It's so ass backwards. But then that's a lot of Tekken, honestly. Like Tekken's great and we love it because it's just a fucking weird beast. But at the same time, it's so fucking weird. Yeah, scuffed as fuck. It is scuffed as fuck.
Super scuffed. But it is what it is. We'll deal with it. We'll complain, but we'll still play it.
Remind us that as much as I don't like it, Dead or Alive actually has tracking data for each individual move in trainer mode.
Damn.
Yeah,
that means playing Dead or Alive though.
That's what I mean.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
That's what it's saying. Hey, just as a reminder, play whatever game the hell you want to play.
Play whatever game you like.
Don't listen to these guys, all right? Play whatever game you want.
Like, I don't like Mortal Kombat, but I have mad respect for it because it's a legacy thing. They have all these features. They give the devs PTSD. Wait, that's not a good one. Forget about that one.
So, well, guys, I think it's been a nice one. I've enjoyed this one. This one was a bit kind of off the cuff. I just kind of wanted to keep it casual. Because I know all you guys anyway. I know you guys pretty well. Been speaking to you for a long time. So shout out to you guys for running the tournaments, keeping them going for God knows how many years now. Keeping me entertained with games, even if I'm not there, even if I'm at uni, I still got the stream to tune into where I can just monster it up in the stream chat.
You can see Drango drops game-winning combo.
Yes, Drango drops are what I tune in for.
Yeah.
That's why I donate. That's why I do.
He's just bringing the Rocky effect, man. You think is he gonna do the? He's gonna go.
You come for the Drango drops and you stay for the Drango lag switches.
Yeah. Well, that's it now. He's leveled up. He's still dropping his combo.
Yeah, he's got the tools.
But so is everyone else now.
Spare game. But shout out to all the viewers, man. Thank you for watching this. We appreciate it. I enjoyed doing it, and I want to thank you guys for coming through for this episode. Next episode, same time, same place.
Yeah, stay safe and remember that Australia doesn't exist.
Yeah, wait. I mean, we out this bit. All right, thanks for doing it, guys. We out. Fucking Australia doesn't exist.
Peace,
guys. No shout. No, cut the stream. God.